What's going on, guys? Jada Black here. Shout out to everybody tuning. I want to talk about 50 Cent and what he had to say recently. I think he's promoting a book, and he talked about how he's happier never getting married. He likes his freedom. He doesn't want to be tied down in a marriage that he know there's a good chance that it's going to fail. Now, I've been talking about this for over almost 10 years. I've never been married. I'm not here to offer any type of marriage advice. I can offer you the advice on what you all see in this society. And in this society, especially in America, a lot of these women are not marriage material. They're not marriage material. And they prove it every single day. But with 50 Cent is interesting because before he had his red pill moment, and yes, he did have a red pill moment, despite what people want to believe, he was dating this female here by the name of Cuban Link. He was dating her for a while, and then all of a sudden he started speaking about celibacy during the relationship. And then the relationship was over, And now he's talking about not getting married. And that's probably why him and Cuban Link broke up, because it seemed like, they were in a good place as a couple. Maybe they were, but it was very clear to probably 50 Cent that he wasn't going to marry her. And she realized that as well. And that's probably why this relationship dissolved very quickly. And maybe 50 Cent dodged a bullet because apparently she was seen out with rapper Travis Scott recently. So if she's already out there in the dating scene, dating other rappers, then maybe he made a good choice to not pursue anything long term or any type of commitment as far as marriage is concerned with her, because he had this red pill moment and he realized, I need to focus on my happiness, which means abstaining from having relations, which is very difficult for a lot of these rappers to do. I'm pretty sure 50 Cent has had his fair share of women over the years, but it's always good to step away, because a lot of men ruin themselves by sleeping with a whole bunch of women, right? That's why you see some of these men getting into degeneracy and debauchery, because they've had so many relations with women. Now they're starting to deal with God knows what. And it's because they have no self-control. They, regular relations don't turn them on anymore. That's why celibacy is good for recharging yourself, but also clearing your mind and your body of all that usage. If you are a guy that's been out here messing around, and maybe that's where 50 was, but you got to ask yourself the question, why now? Why have this moment of clarity now? Now, you look at 50 Cent's career. From being a rapper, he's done acting. Now he's doing his thing as executive producer of the Power series. He has all these different spinoffs. He's become an elite mogul in Hollywood, which is not very easy to do for a black man like 50 Cent, a man who does things on his own terms and isn't afraid to call people out, right? And he's himself. And the fact that he's speaking about not getting married and celibacy, there are people, specifically women, who are going to look at him weird because they want to trap men in marriages. See, women don't have a downside when it comes to marriage unless they have something to lose. Have y'all noticed that women who are financially way more successful than their spouse, they're not quick to get married, and if they are, they make sure that man signs a prenup. They're okay with protecting their assets, but when it comes to a man who wants his fiance to sign a prenup, he's the bad guy. Right? He's the bad guy. Men aren't supposed to protect themselves. Men are supposed to protect their assets. And that's what 50 Cent is doing. He's protecting his resources. He's protecting himself. He's abstaining from continuing to have relations with women that he don't really want to be with like that. Right? That's a good thing. We talk about, no fap. We talk about retention. And people will laugh at you for that, but I think it's always good to abstain. That's why a lot of you dudes have become degenerate in your behaviors when it comes to having relations, because regular relations don't turn you on anymore. So you turn to other things. And it's good to abstain, to sort of hit the reset button. And all of us, we have to hit the reset button eventually. Now let's get into this article from Billboard. 50 Cent talks about novel, celibacy, and never getting married on Late Show. I'm not a happy hostage. According to 50 Cent, marriage is good for thee, but not for he. The hip-hop mogul sat down with Stephen Colbert on the Late Show on Wednesday night to chop it up about his happily unwedded lifestyle, as well as doubling down on a vow of celibacy he claimed has allowed him to stay super focused. Listen, when you calm down, you can focus, 50 said after Colbert read a recent magazine headline touting the near billionaire sex-free lifestyle. I've been good to me. Colbert wondered what the money was for then, if not to share with the love of his life. 50, born Curtis Jackson, explaining money is when things start getting complicated, things start getting confusing, because people come in for different reasons. So basically you have this Stephen Colbert is a weirdo anyway, and him being a sucker for love, a simp, that doesn't surprise me. Look how this guy acts. Look at the stuff he talks about on his show. So none of his behaviors and him questioning why 50 Cent doesn't have a wife who can spin up his money like Stephen Colbert's wife spins up his, it's because, we want to keep our money and resources. You got to understand, 50 Cent has, he has children. He has 2 sons, one of which is probably in his will. The other one isn't, but still, that's where his resources are going to go, not to some woman who came into his life later when he became successful. When Colbert asked the father of 2 if he ever been married, 50 snapped back with, "I'm safe. I'm not a happy hostage. I'm here. I'm free. I've made some mistakes, just not that one." Colbert, who often touts his endless love for his wife of 31 years, Evie, pivoted to asking what the life of an unmarried man is like, after explaining that his typically begins with the wordy. 50 says he goes to the gym or works out at home while trying not to brag, as he casually mentions that he typically grabs 105-pound dumbbells. Colbert sweetly suggests that Curtis' solitary lifestyle sounds, lonely. "I want you to have someone you can love in your life, Curtis," Colbert said. Why do people assume that you're lonely? I mean, this man has dated women throughout it's not like he's living like in the wilderness. He lives alone. Why is it so difficult for people to understand that men can be alone? You got to understand, a lot of these women are not worth the time and effort. A lot of these women want your time. They want your energy. And if you are a man who is building an empire, you don't have time for that. You don't have time for that. And plus, he wants to be a part of his 12-year-old son's life. So 50 says, "I want someone I can love in my life too, just not right now. I'm fine," 50 assured him. Colbert also put up an adorable pic of 50 Cent chilling with his 12-year-old son, Sire Jackson, on the little man's birthday this weekend. What's it like do you think to have 50 Cent as a dad? Colbert wondered. "Great," the rapper said with a wide smile, describing a special dinner at the steakhouse he had for his son that included a pop-in from Dr. Dre, which, typical tween fashion, did not impress Sire as much as 50 thought it might. The interview also featured 50 running down with the audience was like Kazakhstan when he performed there for the first time on his final lap tour last year. They don't know I'm not Michael Jackson. It's so cool. It was unbelievable. 50 said, recalling how fans chased his car as if he was actually the late king of pop. The multi-talented 50 has ostensibly in the house to promote his debut novel, The Accomplice, which the In the Club MC said he essentially dedicated to writer Aaron Philip Clarke based on the rough outline he came up with. And 50 being a multimedia mogul, 50, he said he already is in talks with some TV networks about adopting the story about the first black Texas Ranger on the hunt for master criminal Desmond Bell. So that's what 50 had to say in regards to his lifestyle. Listen, don't let nobody shame you into wanting to be alone. 50 is a man in his 40s. He's been around plenty of women. He knows that, he's been around all these different women, and he decides to be alone. What does that tell you? It tells you that, this society, men do not value what's going on with these women. These women have changed up who they are, what they are, in order to fit into some sort of stereotype, right? Women getting BBLs and surgeries and trying to look like other women, trying to live the lifestyle that they see other women live. And they want to get with men like 50 so 50 can continue to help them pursue that. But I think men should keep themselves first. This is one of the reasons why I make content, is because I think it's very important for men to put themselves first. We have to stop putting other people first, especially Western women. We have to put ourselves first. They put themselves first. So why don't we put ourselves first? Why is it always a problem when men put themselves first? Western women has shown us nothing in regards to us wanting and needing marriage. A lot of y'all are not wife material. And I guess Cuban Link 50's ex wasn't wife material either, which is why he left the relationship and went on a celibacy journey, because he felt like, instead of trying to get into these meaningless relationships, why don't I just focus on getting the money? So let me know what you think in the comment section. Let me know your thoughts. Like this video and share. Follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and I'll see y'all next one.